welcome back to my channel. If you guys are new, my name's Tess. I film videos about working at 9 to 5 as a digital marketing manager. I also film vlogs just about my life as a 24-year-old in Toronto. So if you guys are new, welcome. Make sure to subscribe. Also, it's Friday evening after work. There was a huge windstorm in Toronto. I think they said the winds are like 80 kilometers an hour and there was a lot of clouds outside. So I'm just setting the scene as the light is going to just be a little bit crazy. I'm so excited for today's video. I'm going to be sitting down answering your questions all about work, 9 to 5, marketing, post-grad, lots of marketing stuff, I will just say, because obviously I'm a digital marketing manager. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoy watching this video and let's get started. I actually have my questions on my laptop because I'm using my iPhone as a microphone. So there we go. And just a little 10-second synopsis about me. So I work full-time. I work as a digital marketing manager at an AI company, and I've been there for 7 months. Before that, I worked for about a year and a half at a Big 4 firm in marketing and in project management. Before that, I've worked at a cancer agency, and I also worked at another AI company. So I have about 3 years of experience in marketing, project management, and communications, like that whole area. I actually do not have a marketing degree. I actually have never studied like business really. My degree is in writing and communications, but mainly in writing and copy editing. And then I have a project management course I took after graduation at U of T. So anyways, that's a little bit about me. I got a lot of questions about working virtually and how to start a new job virtually and just living and working in like a virtual world. So I'll just go into that a little bit. I answered this in one of my vlogs recently, so I'll keep it kind of short. But the job I work at now, I actually did start remotely. I've never been to the office. I haven't met anybody from the company. It's definitely like a weird thing starting a job working from home. This is my 4th job. So the last 3 jobs I was used to like going to the office and meeting everybody, going for coffee chats. It's just like a completely different situation starting a job sitting in your sweatpants at home. And I think a lot of people realize it's really weird. Like when I started at my company now, everyone kept asking like how it was going and how weird it was like to be starting a job at home. So I think first of all, everyone kind of knows it's like a really weird situation. I've said this before, but in terms of tips, I would just say go for coffee chats as much as you can. Go on video as much as you can, even though it's way nicer to not be on video and just like sit behind your computer. But I think go on video, go for coffee chats. I think another thing for me that I found hard working, like starting a new job virtually, is that you don't like organically get to know anybody. So when you have a question for someone like on another team, you can't just go like run into them or go to their desk and you haven't like met them probably at all, because you don't really meet anybody unless you like set up a coffee chat. I don't know, if someone's on like the sales team or like a product team or something, have like your go-to people from each team that you can like Slack with a question or message with a question, and that is like really helpful. Then you kind of have like a pinpointed person on like a bunch of different teams that you can go to if you have a question like for that team. So yeah, set up strategic coffee chats. Someone asked, can you post a sample resume? I actually have a free downloadable template on busyblooming.ca. So it's a free cover letter and a resume template. I think it's really cute. It's like pink and you can change the color if you want. If you have Canva, it's free. Just like make a Canva account. You can download that template if you want, but just Canva in general like has a lot of templates. So I think if you need a template example, just go to canva.ca, go check them out. They have so many cute templates. Someone said advice for dealing with a toxic coworker. Oh my god. I don't know. I feel like if you asked me this like 4 years ago, my opinion would be very different. But I think anytime there's someone at work that's like toxic, whether it's your boss or a coworker or whoever it is, I've definitely had my fair share of toxic people like emailing my boss and not CCing me and just like trying to throw me under the bus and things. And I think first of all, I will say that's not like the norm at work in my experience. Like I don't think you should ever like really be around super toxic people. If you are, that's not a good work environment. It's just not normal. And that's something I wish I knew a little bit more when I started my first job, like just bosses and coworkers. Like if someone is like intentionally throwing you under the bus or making you feel uncomfortable or just like not being a genuinely nice person, I think as much as possible just remove yourself from a situation. be professional. Don't like shit talk them to somebody else. The energy you put in, if you put more energy into that toxic coworker, it's just gonna take up more of your day and more time, and it's just like not worth it because it's just like some random coworker at work. So like, who cares? I know it can seem like a really big deal because it's like your job and you're there for 8 hours, but in the big scheme of your life, like don't put energy into like some random toxic coworker at work who's like trying to make you have a bad day, because it's just not worth it. That's my advice. Just ignore them, let them be toxic, and I don't know, be professional. I will say it's very hard, especially in meetings when it's just like someone's trying to get under your skin. I got a lot of questions asking like how to switch a department like at work, so switch from like marketing into something else. My biggest tip would just be to like book a coffee meeting with someone probably more junior on that team and try to get more insight of like what the team does, and just like, I don't know, someone who's like at your level, and just so you can learn more about the team, the boss, like who's hiring, what kind of skills you would need. Someone said, how do you break up your day to ensure productivity? Something that's helped me so much is setting timers to get stuff done, and just like right in the morning, I try to get so much knocked off my to-do list. I feel like my productivity levels go like so up and down, especially working from home. Like some days I'm just on it like right in the morning, checking stuff off my list, and other days I'm just like not as productive. So I think that's normal, I hope. But I think in terms of like tips, yeah, like I said, something I do is I try to be super productive in the morning, and I find that that just like gives me a easier day ahead. If I have like a bunch of social media content to write, emails to write, Canva graphics to make or something, I just like set it, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna set a timer for 1 hour and just get as much stuff done as I can in this hour. And I think that just like sets you up for the day, rather than having like a more relaxed morning and then having like a daunting list in the afternoon of stuff to do. I try to like reverse that, and I feel like that helps me feel like a lot better, especially when it's like lunchtime and you've already gotten so much stuff done. I got a few questions about tools that I use, and the tools I use, I have used in the past, are like Adobe Experience Manager and Adobe Photoshop Creative, like all that stuff. Also HubSpot, Salesforce, MailChimp, Mixpanel, Illuminate. I think that's it. So that being said though, I didn't learn any of that stuff in school. That's all like stuff I've learned on the job. So I would say in terms of skills, like definitely on my resume, I think I put some examples on that like resume template on Busy Blooming. In terms of like skills I put like project management, social media management, marketing, obviously like communications. I didn't have as many like, you know, technical skills, so I think that's okay, and I think people are more than happy to teach you on the job. I think Canva is also a really good skill that's actually, I've seen a lot of people put that on their resume, and I think it's like a good thing to know. Someone said, tips to learn about social media management on the job. Yeah, that's a really good question, and as someone who doesn't have like a marketing degree, learning how to grow a social media channel like on the go is like on the job is definitely something I went through. I think learning about social media management, like I wouldn't stress too much about like tips of like how to learn how to grow a social media channel, because I think for the most part, like whoever hired you will help you. And my second job was the first time I like did hands-on like social media stuff and managing channels and posting on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, responding to comments, responding to DMs, and it's kind of like a weird thing. So I just found it like really daunting, and even like what to post and what to write like as a tweet every day from your company, it's actually a lot more difficult than you'd think. But I know a few people who vlog their days as like a full-time social media manager. It is so complicated and there was so much to it. Like, but in terms of tips, something that I honestly did was Google so much. Like I Googled so many things of like how to post a sponsored ad on LinkedIn, like ideas of what to say on LinkedIn, go to like competitor social media, see what they're saying. But I think just Google is your best friend in these situations. But with that being said, I wouldn't say like pretend that you know all the stuff that you don't, because I've done that a lot and it's very, very stressful. So I think Google as much as you can, try to figure it out, and then ask for help like after, but make sure to ask for help, because like you don't want to be setting up some like $2,000 ad and it's like wrong. So yeah. Okay, someone asked, what do you do to ensure that you're always on top of your game at work? That's a very good question, and something I should probably like think about more often, but something I always do is just like be super probably over communicative with my boss, just to make sure that like what I'm working on is always like a priority, because in the past I've spent so much time like working on things and then like someone asks you for something else and you didn't realize that was like more important than the thing you're working on, which is so annoying. So I think something I always do is just like double, triple check. Like even if you have a really long to-do list, send your boss like a Slack message or a Teams message or Skype or whatever it is, and just say like, hey, how's it going? I'm gonna work on these 3 things this afternoon. Is that like good? Is there anything else you need? Just so they know what you're doing. And then if you're doing that, like you can't really do much more to ensure that you're at the top of your game. I think that's just like the main thing, is just making sure your time is well spent and everyone is glad that you're spending your time on those things. I know lots of people ask for feedback like all the time, like they do like check-ins and asking like if like stop, start, and continues and stuff. I don't know, I'm just like really not one of those people, but I feel like that is a good thing. I'm probably just like way too sensitive to get like feedback every week on things I should stop and start. I just figure like if there's something I'm doing that's wrong or something that's really great, like there's just that constant flow of communication, so it's not really like you need to sit down and like double check that you're doing a good job. Like someone will just tell you if there's not. To answer your question, communication is key. All the Slack messages, and yeah. On that same note, someone asked, what do you do to make sure you're on a good side of your boss? I think it's not like super healthy to try to always like get on the good side of people, because I don't know, it just doesn't seem for being super genuine. And I don't know, I do think people know when you're like trying to get on the good side of somebody, but I think just focus on your work and just let that speak for itself rather than like trying super hard to get on someone's good side. I think if you're doing a good job and you're doing your best and being honest when you don't know about something, I think there's not much else you can do. Like if you're really doing your best at your job and you think you're doing a good job, your boss tells you you're doing a good job, I wouldn't worry too much about like getting on their good side. And if you feel like you're not on their good side, I would almost like question that, is like that's probably not a reflection of you, it's probably a reflection of them. I don't know, I think it's like a constant like anxiety almost at work to be like, does my boss like me? Am I on their good side? But if someone's making you question that a lot and like every day you're like, I think my boss hates me, it's probably not a reflection of you, it's probably them. And I would just maybe like double check that like everything's all good. But if you're constantly like feeling that way, I think that's not a healthy relationship. I wouldn't be too hard on yourself if you are feeling that way. Just make sure like you're doing everything you need to be doing at work, and I think that's like enough to speak for itself, hopefully. Someone asked, do you ever find yourself working on the weekends? No, I don't think I've ever in my life worked on a weekend, like working my 9-to-5 job on a weekend. I think if I didn't do like so many things outside of work, like I work all weekend on Busy Blooming and YouTube, and same at like 5 o'clock, and then before 9 I'm like constantly working on stuff. So I feel like if I wasn't doing those things, I might be a little bit more flexible, like on Slack or on Gmail, like answering emails and stuff. I am like so that person at like 5 p.m. I shut my laptop. My hours are just 9 to 5, and I rarely ever work outside of those hours, because I just, like I said, I keep myself very busy outside of 9 to 5. So no, I don't, but I feel like that's probably because I'm like have really strict boundaries with work. So yeah, I don't know if that's bad, but that's just genuinely what I'm doing. I got a lot of questions, and I feel like every time I do one of these Q&As, I get a lot of questions of like, can I do marketing without any experience? Yes, like to answer your question, yes, you can do anything that you want. I think sometimes your path to get there might just be a little bit less straight than someone else's. Like for me, to get into marketing, it wasn't like get a marketing degree and then get into marketing jobs. It was like get a writing degree, then do like a project management job, then go into project management, and then get into marketing. My biggest tips for getting experience, if you don't have a lot of relevant experience or none, I would say take an online class or like a brain station class or something in that field if you can. Or in your current role, try to get put on like marketing projects. When I worked at my first job, I wasn't technically like in the marketing team. Like, so I asked if I could like help with social media and help with events and help with like marketing things, so I could put those on my resume, even though technically I wasn't like a marketer. Yeah, those are my tips, but don't be discouraged. There's always a way to get to where you want to get. It just might take a little bit longer, but definitely you can do it. My friend Kate Ramsey asked, what position or company would you love to work for? She's also a digital marketer. She's a YouTuber. Go check her out. A position I would love to work in is like brand management or something that's like really, really creative with graphics and visuals and like that side to a company. I think it's like really complicated to manage a brand and a voice and the visual identity of a brand. So I think it will take me a long time to get there, but I would love to do that one day. I've always wanted to work at like a Nike or Adidas for some reason. I don't know why. I just find those companies like so cool and I love their marketing. So either like a Nike or an Adidas style company, or like the dream would be like a beauty brand that I love, like Fresh or Benefit or something. I think that'd be so cool. So yeah. I got a lot of questions asking about like resume tips. I actually have a whole video on resume tips and resources on busyblooming.ca. But to answer your question, biggest tips, everything on your resume, keep it super relevant. If it's not relevant to the job you're applying to, just change it so it is more relevant or just take it off. I think also when you put your skills section, try to like elaborate on your skills if you can or quantify them. So rather than just saying like email management, maybe say like managed an email campaign that was sent to like 10,000 recipients or something, just to like have some like quantity to your skills. So those are my two biggest tips. Okay, I think those are all the questions I'm going to answer. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. I hope it was helpful. I like doing these like bi-monthly marketing work Q&As. If you are a new grad, I feel you. I can't even imagine being a new graduate in this like virtual pandemic world we're in right now. Anyways, that's all I wanted to say. I'd love to hear your guys' answers to these questions below as always. So let me know what you guys think. And other than that, I'll see you guys on Monday for a very, very exciting video. And I can't wait for you to see it. So I'll see you guys on Monday. Okay, bye.